the work he did in the offseason, which he knew he was doing, has come into the games. To take the offense out of it. If we're just focusing on the defensive part of the game, he basically hasn't been noticeable, which is in a good way. Receiving's been good. He's getting pitches on both sides of the plate. Hasn't had a ton of throwing opportunities yet. The preparation's always been there, so that's always been a part of his game that he's been strong with. But the reaction from the pitchers has been good. So I think it's just more, just needs more volume, more reps. Need to see him out there more, but been very encouraging so far.
Enough that he's likely a part of your opening day roster.
We haven't gotten to that part of the spring. I think we have time. We still feel like that second catcher spot is a strong competition, and obviously Ollie hasn't had a chance to get in there yet, but we expect him to soon. JD's been back there, and JD's someone we trust a lot and really reliable. So I think it'll be a good. The competition remaining for that spot will be a good one here the rest of camp, and we have more time and more to learn.
Schulte brought up that ideally it would be a tandem, I think was the word that he viewed with catching. How would you describe just division of labor behind there in a perfect world?
Yeah, ultimately that'll be up to him, up to Derek to make that determination. With Yaz and where he is in his career, it's we didn't sign him expecting him to be a 150 game catcher. He's gonna get his days, and we think whoever he's combined with, it can make for a strong combination. So I don't know exactly how that division will play out, but we see that kind of thing working well in the major leagues with guys, whether it's a true share or if it's 1A, 1B, or however you want to put it. It can be an effective way to get a lot of value at that position, and we think we have the guys that give us a chance to do that.
How encouraging has it been to see the progress and just the results early on from guys like Rowe and Quinn, Luis, guys that are going to be battling for some rotation spots here?
Yeah, I think certainly one of the things we were excited and anticipating coming into spring training was just seeing that young pitching group at large, knowing the work that they had put in the offseason, kind of seeing that come out in games. And some of that group, some of the guys you mentioned, guys that are more in competition for spots on the team, and then some younger guys who probably weren't realistically in competition but had the chance to get into Major League spring training games the first time. By and large, that whole group has been impressive for us, and a lot of guys have taken a step forward, we think, from where we ended last season. So again, more innings, more to learn here the next 3 weeks or so, and we have time to sort that out, but that competition will be strong for the remaining rotation spots.
How exciting is it to see a guy like Andrew McCutchen back in the lineup today, just to get a look at him and take those first steps toward really getting back in there?
Well, he's excited, and he would have played a week ago probably had we let him, but I think for anybody that cares about the Pirates, seeing him in black and gold out there in the lineup it's a good day. So excited for him, excited for us.
Going back to the rotation, you got Burrows is going to come back, JT's going to come back. It looks like there are going to be some kids who are going to be more ready at some point mid-season than maybe they are right now. How much does that factor into whenever you look at Rowe, Ortiz, Priest, or just the amount of opportunities? There might be more runway right now than, say, July.
Well, the easy answer is, when you think you have enough pitching, get more. It's that'll be a great problem to have if we're in a spot where we've got more really good options than we have room for. That'll be a really good problem to have. We're trying to build towards that, and I think Michael and JT are working their tails off to be part of that conversation as we get into the middle of the season. And in the meantime, we'll focus on the guys that are healthy and out there competing. And again, we're encouraged about what that group has done so far.
With a guy like Paul Skenes, who's gotten out there on the mound so far, and his consistent velocity hitting triple digits, but just the way that you've seen him progress from the day you drafted him to see him in here in his first spring training. How pleased have you been with what he's been able to bring?
Yeah, I think he's just affirming, what we have known about him and felt about him from the time of the draft, and since, certainly off the field, we continue to get feedback about, the teammate, the worker, how prepared he is, and obviously really accomplished guy and talented guy, and yet someone who's still working on his craft every day. And there's been adjustments that he's made even since the beginning of spring training that we're seeing coming into games. And since you asked about Paul Skenes, obviously we sent some the younger starting pitching group to minor league camp yesterday. We also did meet with Paul and let him know he's going to start the year in the minor leagues, and he is going to stay here in major league camp with us for at least the foreseeable future, is to continue to get his work done here in major league spring training, get his reps in major league spring training. But did have that conversation with him this morning. And
what was his reaction to that?
He's a pro. He's asking, okay, great, what's next, what I need to do the rest of the day. The goal, what we want to do is put him in the best position possible to help us win games in Pittsburgh as soon as possible, and then for as long as possible. So really believe we're totally aligned with him on that, and very confident he's going to do his part.
What is the advantage of staying in major league camp versus stretching out for
I think in his case in particular, relative to some maybe other guys who've been in the system longer, he has not had the benefit of the full minor league season, and we're also trying to, again, as I said, put him in a position where he has the best chance possible to help us win games in Pittsburgh as soon as possible. So we just think a little bit more time in Major League Spring Training around our staff, players, the catching group, the game planning process, kind of everything about it. Hopefully just can speed that up just a little bit more. And then that'll play into how we get the season started and what the volume progression looks like going into the season. We'll have more details as we get closer to the season on that.
Ben, what's the advantage or the thinking behind telling him now versus, let it go 2 weeks or something like that?
It became clear to us as we looked at what are the boxes that need to be checked for him to be in a position where we'd feel confident and frankly safe and to consider him for the major leagues. And a lot of those boxes that haven't been checked yet are not things that he has full control over. It's just a matter of where he is in his career and not having had the opportunity yet to experience everything that comes along with being a professional pitcher. So, he hasn't yet quite had the opportunity to adjust to a professional schedule in terms of, tends to be shorter rest between starts and things like that. He's pitched 6 2/3 professional innings, so there's just things that happen inside the game that he hasn't yet had a chance to experience in pro ball. And then as we look at the total work volume last year, the innings, between LSU and pro ball, we look at, okay, what's a reasonable projection for 2024, and trying to manage that for a full season. We just feel like it's more realistic and better for us to start that process in the minor leagues. So once that became clear, just better to share that with him now, so he can get prepared for that. We can get prepared for that, and because we also wanted him to continue to get the benefit of being around our group in Major League Camp. Once you have the decision, share the decision.
Yeah. Do you know what affiliate he'll be starting at?
Haven't made that determination
Okay.
yet. No, we'll have that as soon as we have it. We'll let everyone know.
I'm assuming you guys are still learning right now, but is there anything that could be shared on Dari?
He's got an elbow injury, and we're continuing to learn more about it, and need to learn a little bit more, this week. But it's a tough break for him, and as soon as we have more definitive information to share, we will. I anticipate he's going to be out for a while, though.
A more general question, but there's been an obvious mix of veterans here and a lot of young guys, and the blend of it together has been really fun to watch. How exciting is that for you to see the way that these vets are also bringing these young guys, and these personalities have just been really fun and exciting for Pirates fans?
I'm glad you're seeing that. You may have been out there seeing it more than I have, but I'm certainly glad that's how it's playing out. I do think we talked about that coming into spring, that we do have sort of a healthy amount of like real experience and then a healthy amount of real young, and it's an interesting combination. And we certainly hope that they'll feed off each other. And what I hear is that that's happening. And so as we get as we get to a smaller group towards the end of camp and then break, obviously with 26, I think that's when you start to have a better sense of, what the team dynamic is actually going to be. And looking forward to seeing that play out. I do think everything I'm hearing is that this is a group that likes to be around each other and likes to work together, and feels very good about what we can accomplish this year.